Hello guys, this is Terry from Genki Gaming TV, and we're here with another video. We are going to do a Nintendo Direct speculation video. The music in the background is a tropical progressive house mix by my friend Lucas Dimond. His YouTube channel is down in the description down below, but we're going to be talking directly about the possibility of the next Nintendo Direct either being on January the 11th or on January the 18th of 2018. I think it's very likely that it could be next Thursday, which is the 11th, but I also have a gut feeling that they might hold off and give people a little bit of extra free Nintendo Wi-Fi service time and do the Direct on the 18th. But what truly does this Direct hold ahead for us? Other than some confirmed dates, some secondary information. There are a couple of things we know that are going to have to be discussed. Those being the Yoshi game, which will be given a proper title, and the Kirby game as well, seeing as both of them do not have their own specific titles as of yet, as far as I know. There's still things like Mega Man that we do need a little bit more details on. We've seen that small little snippet trailer that was released by Capcom, and we know that EA is going to be throwing some support our way as well, at least Nintendo fans' way in general. So there will be whichever game they're promoting for that. There's a couple that are very possible. Same thing for Ubisoft. I should actually have a cumulative list of stuff up, but I was kind of wanting just to do this in a little bit more of a relaxing style, so that it's not just straight rush and be wrong directly on the topic, saying no, this game's not going to be out yet. I mean, I can get the information up here about certain titles, but at the end of the day, this is purely speculation. We know we're getting information about Bayonetta 3, most likely, because they most likely just can't sit on their laurels about that, even with the ideals of what we're getting, both Bayonetta 1 and 2. And you can never find something on Ubisoft's website to save yourself, so I got to go to Amazon for that, because I want to know the game's title. And I'm not talking about Mario vs. Rabbids. There's something else that was supposed to be coming out for the Switch as well, but I can't seem to find it. It's a different style game. It's one of those Toys to Life, and I wish I could remember what the title of it was, because as you guys know, Terry is not good with titles whatsoever. So while we're doing this discussion thing, I'm going to be cross-referencing titles of things that we've not seen from or heard from yet. I touched on Bayonetta 1 and 2, that double pack being a thing. I'm pretty sure this comes out in February. Yeah, February the 16th is Bayonetta 2 and 1's release. We also have wonderful things like Octopath, or Project Octopath Travelers, which should be given a release date that is not fourth quarter. And I know Siberia is going to be something talked about. They may do a Siberia bundle 1, 2, and 3, or they may just do individual games for 1 and 2 and not really even fuss much for 3. That is a possibility. As of right now, Amazon still has Metroid Prime 4 listed for next year, or I mean for later this year, but I'm not sure how likely it is, depending upon when they started development and if they're and a proper development cycle rather than rush and have a product that isn't exactly 100% finished. We also do have a new Fire Emblem that's likely looming in the cuspids. I know that's weird terminology, but it's very likely that we'll get a new Fire Emblem this year, because it seems like Nintendo wants to keep the Switch's line out relatively full, so that there's no chance that you'll ever forget about your Switch, no chance you'll ever really put it down. And there's also stuff like the Shin Megami Tensei game that's supposed to be coming out as well. That already makes the schedule pretty full from my perspective. And Amazon never has things listed how I want them to be listed, which is a personal problem on my own, because it seems like Amazon had previously listed like 8 or 9 placeholders for games, and then they took down the placeholders as if they were nothing. I mean, why put the placeholders up when you know you're just going to take them down real quick? I mean, right now, Project Octopath Traveler has a placeholder art on it, and that game already has a lot of wonderful, vivid art that they could use as a proper placeholder, rather than what they have right there on the Amazon.com page. And there's a lot of other possibilities we've not heard from Retro whatsoever, which makes me think Retro is working on something with another studio, or Retro has their focus divided on multiple projects right now, both of which are very much a possibility. I think if my thought process holds well, I don't think Retro is actually working on a DK game per se, though they should really finish the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, or the new trilogy, because I always feel like Retro does things in threes per se. And at this point, you would figure that we would have heard about the next Pikmin game by now. Miyamoto has been working on that off and on since the Wii U's like second or third year, or something like that. It's somewhere in the middle point. It's been worked on since that period of time, and I know they've redone it due to an engine change, but as of right now we know next to nothing about it. I figure we'll get news about Detective Pikachu as well. You guys have noticed, Terry, why aren't you talking about Pokemon Switched, or Pokemon Super Switch Showdown, the game that's going to be the next big Pokemon game? You want to know why, guys? I don't think it's coming out in 2018. I don't have a single little inkling that that game is even going to release on time. I feel like if it releases this year, it might be released early, because initially it sounded like development wasn't going as smoothly, that development didn't pick up and wasn't going as traditionally as Pokemon goes. I know that the scope has changed. I know that the stylization of how they handle development has changed. And I know that there's tons of rumors saying Pokemon Switched is going to be a completely different game. It's going to have this, this, and this. But at the same time, guys, I feel like at the latest, or at the earliest truly, Pokemon could come out December. December at the earliest. I feasibly say that it will be February or March at the latest of 2019, if there has to be any sort of additional development or additional smoothing, Because as you guys know, we want something that is solid, something that's going to be a game that will play and play and play, a game that's competitive, a game that's fun. You don't want something that's gone through development heck. Yes, I did censor myself because it's 2018 and that is what I'm doing. Self-censorship to make things a little bit of a smoother process. I do see a couple games that have been stealthily placed on the Amazon shop. Runner 3, gonna be out March 27th, 2018. It looks like it's through Nicholas as well. Looks like it's coming with multiple little bonus freebies, which are always nice. Looks like Fallen Legion Rise to Glory. It only has the Switch cover of it. No pictures. Is coming out on April 24th, 2018. It looks like it's a game where you'll be able to control multiple characters simultaneously. And Usenex looks like it's also coming out on April 24th, 2018, and appears to be a rhythm and music game. And it has a relatively decent price tag. Most of these games are listed with a 40 or below price tag. I don't know why Yoko's Island Express hasn't been given a confirmed release date, since it does have a physical copy coming out. Also, you even see that the Payday 2 has been stealthily added to Amazon. A lot of times when things are stealthily added and not really mentioned, it means that release may be sooner, or that the release will be within this particular quarter, or within this particular 6-month chunk of the year. Okay, it looks like Payday 2 is also listed for February 27th, 2018. I don't know if a $49 price tag is going to be something that people will go for. And that's what we currently see on the eShop that's been kind of snuck, well, on the Amazon shop that's been snuck in. And I'm going to move back to speculation here. I feel like we must be getting certain things. We already have Kirby and Yoshi here for the beginning chunk of the year. We also have heard inklings of Metroid actually releasing on time, so there's 3 Nintendo main franchise type games. I feel like Nintendo may have given another developer a chance to use an IP, and I feel like that IP may be Kid Icarus, and we could be getting a new Kid Icarus game, because Sakurai isn't going to be, well, from what I understand, isn't going to be directly working on Smash. He's taken a small break from Smash to work on another project. That other project could be a Kid Icarus game with an external development team that is from a third party. Like I always say, some of these older developers are expanding their scope and helping the younger generation to improve. That's why we have people like Mr. Yabuki and the Orange team, the Splatoon team, Nogami. I feel like we're going to get some sort of big spring update for Splatoon 2 as well. And I got a gut feeling that they'll start dropping hints for a second ARMS game, even though I feel like that's really premature of Nintendo to do. I feel like rushing onto a second game for ARMS wouldn't be good. I felt like if they supported it for, with DLC up until mid-2018, that would have been perfect and no one would have been saying a single thing. Online is not dead for the game. Online's still a vivid community. I just want to make that thoroughly understood here. But as for other stuff, I know people are saying Mother 3's finally going to be dropped. I don't think so. I think we might hear them joke about Mother 3. I think they might try to just sweep it under the blanket with another game they're working on. I feel like we'll have at least 1 or 2 surprises that are directly from Nintendo. Kind of like new IPs or something. And I feel like Level 5 could finally show off Inazuma 11 for the Switch. I feel like that would sell good in Japan and in Europe. I feel like it would do kind of baseline in the US if they promote it correctly, because Inazuma 11 is such a good game, or such a good series of games, and I feel like Level 5 is always undershadowed with games like Inazuma 11 via something like FIFA or PES. And I've been trying to rack my brain about what that game's name is, and I think it's Faye from EA. Faye or Fee. It's made by a smaller team, is what I know. I just can't remember the direct name of it. And there's also another game that's going to be multi-console as well. And for the life of me, I don't know why I can't directly remember it. I'm going to reference the section of Amazon here to see if I can actually recall anything. Nope, I'm seeing other stuff that is fun. And I'm sorry this video is more or less kind of scattered-brained, guys. Yeah, it's Starlink Battle for Atlas. That is going to be given a true confirmation date, at least for the Switch and PS4. I feel like if Ubisoft is really wanting to push the Toys to Life thing, they would work on confirming that early, and would work towards confirming what all is necessary for it. And I would like to just take a moment to talk about this Starlink Battle for Atlas a little bit more. I love the idea behind it, but it depends on how the Toys to Life thing is utilized. If it's only like 3 or 4 ships, I'm fine with them being price tagged at around $20 to $30 tops. And I'm fine with weapons being about $10 if you can switch them between all of the different vehicles. But when it gets to the point where it's Skylanders crazy, where each figure is $9 to $15 or more, and there's like 20 of them, I feel like at that point it just breaks your budget with the game, with the figures, and with everything involved in it. I feel like if this game is even going to be remotely successful, they have to step away from being entirely Toys to Life, because this game looks super interesting, and the Toys to Life aspect of it is neat, because who doesn't want to have little spaceships and space vehicles on their desk? I mean, all of the weapon types might be a little bit overbearing, but it sounds like EA would let you be able to obtain them in-game via in-game currency as well, so that you're not so screwed in that department per se. I feel like we'll most likely get a party game from Nintendo as well, and I feel like Capcom is going to show or give us a good display of faith by unloading a new IP on us. I know we're going to be getting Mega Man, and that Mega Man 11 doesn't really have a really defined date yet, at least as far as I know. Then again, I don't have release dates readily available in front of me, so I could be completely wrong and it could have a predefined release date already. which I am probably wrong about at this particular point in time. Plus, there's going to be wonderful things like the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection that they'll most likely talk about. But I don't really think we'll be seeing Monster Hunter World or anything to that extent. But I can definitely see Monster Hunter Stories 2 become a thing. I don't know if the team behind it is working on anything currently, but I can see them doing that for the Switch as a little bit of goodwill for the Monster Hunter fans that are completely salty. I'm not salty, I'm a multi-console person, but if I could play Monster Hunter on the go, it would make me more productive in that aspect, where I would be able to basically be farming resources, be hunting monsters while I'm commuting, or while I'm at work on my break. I could step in and work on a hunt, and then whenever I was done my break or my lunch, save and turn my Switch off or pause the hunt and get back to it after work. You guys are getting what I'm saying. And I think I've touched on mostly everything. I did reference that Animal Crossing could be a thing. I'm not sure how they'll utilize it, but the mobile game is pretty successful from what I'm seeing. There's people level 50 plus right now. Personally, I'm only level 26 on the game. So there's that. People like me play it hyper casually. So the possibility of me leveling fast is kind of deplorable and laughable. I did just realize that we could possibly see something from Blizzard, maybe Hearthstone or Overwatch being added. Hearthstone feels more likely though, because of how Hearthstone works as a media. Well, as a medium and as a game. And we also have things like Heroes of Valor, or Arena of Valor, which should have already been out, but is not out yet. There's a lot of gaps that Nintendo kind of need to work on filling right now. Because at this point in time, we only really know a handful of the titles for next year. I mean, for this year. I'm still in the past, guys, calling this year next year. But I definitely feel like Smash won't be a thing yet. I feel like they'll save Smash for E3. And then when they talk about Smash then, it will be a 2019 release. I know that will make the guys in the Smash community a little angry at me. But the reason why I'm saying this is Smash is such a big and powerful weapon for Nintendo to use. It pulls in money. Smash is a wonderful, great money-making game. And at this current time, at least my opinion, is they would be hard put to actually rush Smash out the door. We don't know how long they would be working on a Switch version of it. We also don't know if there's an enhanced port coming our way or anything like that. So we have a lot to really take into consideration at this particular point in time, guys. So I think I'm gonna leave it with this, guys. Expect the unexpected, because the Nintendo we're dealing with is not a Nintendo we're truly familiar with. This particular Nintendo is significantly different and is willing to do things differently in order to surprise and enlighten us. Because if you guys didn't notice, we've been getting different things that are mind-shatteringly unexpected. Like Detective Pikachu actually becoming a movie. I thought that was a joke. I thought that would never happen. It's happening. So we'll likely get Detective Pikachu as a port, or for the 3DS. At this particular time, we really don't know what the Nintendo that we're facing is really dealing with, or how they're really going to act. Because from my experience, they're doing things significantly differently than what they normally do, which is enlightening and refreshing. I do expect for us to get several more new IPs. I feel like that is their best method of continuing the flow and keeping things going. So there is that. And I want to end it here, and I want to thank you guys for all of your support. You guys have yourselves a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. I've been Terry with Genki Gaming, and I am out.